Hey guys, this is Rachel. I want to do a super quick video for you today on cash flow awareness. So lots of people talk about budgeting and how stressful it can be, and so they avoid it like the plague. One of the reasons budgeting is really frustrating is that you have a lot of small transactions that are not fixed. So you might have bills that you know, your cell phone bill every month, your internet bill, your sewer and water, some of your utilities. They're going to be fixed payments that you pay the same amount every month, and those are really easy to plan for. You already know that a certain dollar amount is coming out of the account, and you can plan for that. What's more challenging is the irregular spending. So things like grocery shopping. You know that there's some months that you're going to spend more, you're going to stock up the pantry and the refrigerator and maybe the freezer, and then there might be other months that you don't spend as much, or maybe your eating out budget goes up higher one month but your grocery budget's lower, or your clothing budget you don't spend, and then 6 months later you realize you need to update your wardrobe and you spend a lot of money, and then you don't spend again for another few months. So things like that are more irregular seem like they're more challenging to plan for. So I want to give you some really tangible, helpful ways to think through that. So first of all, I love mint.com. This is a really cool software that is, actually it's not software, it's just internet-based technology. It's online. You go to mint.com, M-I-N-T, and you, for free, can connect this software to your bank accounts, and kind of like electronic banking, it goes ahead and pulls all your transactions into one place, and then it will automatically categorize where it believes that transaction came from. So if you spent it at Wawa or 7-Eleven, it's going to probably put that over into a gas and fuel budget. If you spent money at Harris Teeter or Food Lion or Kroger's, it's going to probably put that over into grocery. Now you can split transactions, and you can also change them to another category. What I want to mention here is that when you're in a position of needing to think through expenses that are more irregular, maybe they're once a year, maybe they're annual expenses, or maybe they're just those crazy things that you need to plan for, like having maintenance on your car, where you know that it's going to crop up every now and then. You're going to have to replace brakes, tires, windshield wipers, have an oil change, but they're not regular things that you can specifically plan for on a monthly basis. So one way that I mentioned with mint.com, if you're tracking your money in Mint, you can set budgets accordingly, and you can put in a monthly budget, or you can put something that's every couple of months. So you could say, looking back historically, you can say I've spent $90 total in the last 3 months on auto maintenance. So that would be $30 per month if you break that down. And then what you can do is you can set a budget, and you can say, well, what's $30 a month times a year, 12 months, that's $360. You can go ahead and budget $360 per year, and then that's a set amount of money for a particular category that will sit at the bottom of your checking account if you don't use it, and then be able to use as you spend that. So say for instance you went a whole year without needing to do anything maintenance wise on your car, and then you had something crop up, then what would happen is it would pull from that account, and you might overspend that $360. Say you actually spent $400 in that month, all replacing your tires, let's say. Then what would happen is you could have a rollover budget as well, so that $360 would apply to next year as well, and that would just say that you already used a portion of next year's money for auto maintenance. This is a really helpful way to be able to modify and modulate your budget going forward, because you're always going to have different types of expenses and miscellaneous things that come up, and you want to be able to plan for them as well as possible, but not get too wrapped up in the weeds about it. So mint.com is a fabulous tool to be able to use. Another thing that I'll recommend is, if you really just like spreadsheets and pen and paper better, that can work really well. If you put together a spreadsheet that has what your income is in a given month and all of your expenses by category, you can go ahead, print out your bank statements, and then look through the statement and say, here's all of my grocery spending, and total that up and put that into your grocery line on your monthly cash flow awareness spreadsheet. And then do the same for eating out, and do the same for, I don't know, restaurants or movies, let's say, or entertainment, or maybe it was clothing. But total up your transactions, write them down in the categories, and then you can look at the month at the end and say, here was my income, here was my expenses, and here's the difference. Your difference is going to be either positive or negative. And then what you're able to do is say, here's how much I'm spending and what I'm making. Now, if it's a positive cash flow, that gives you money that you can save each month. The goal is to be able to put money over into savings. So you want positive cash flow. But if you don't have positive cash flow, you want to be in a position where you say, I know that I need to go ahead and make more money, or I need to find a way to cut back my expenses somehow. So the great thing is, a lot of what we do is help people to understand what expenses they have going out and find ways to restructure them in order to save money each month, and then be able to put that into a position of saying, here's my savings, and how am I going to do that most effectively? And where am I going to get the best bang for my buck on my savings? The other thing I just want to mention is that with any cash flow awareness, really the ultimate goal is being able to have a monthly amount that you pay yourself first. The priority really is not on saying, how can I minimize or diminish my grocery spending every single month? I mean, we still really do have to eat. We have to spend money. And as much as we want to be saving, and as much as we want to be budgeting conscious, if we get too wrapped into the weeds about trying to scrimp and save and cut back in a lot of areas, we really shortchange ourselves. The ideal position is really to be where you're making money, you have a set amount that you save first, and then you just go ahead and spend freely the rest of the money. You're not really pinching pennies or necessarily having to focus on exactly what dollars are going in which category. But until you're in a position where you know you can comfortably save a chunk of change, whether that be 20 to 30% of your income would be ideal, until you're in a position where you know you can save that and then just spend the rest freely, really being conscious and aware of where your money's going helps you to get into a position of being financially free. So budgeting is not the end of the road, but really it can be a great positive step in the right direction of knowing where your money's going. And the more you place your attention on something, the more you're aware of what's happening, you are bound to have positive changes in that area just because of your attention on that. So I want to bring you something practical here. I do also want to mention I have a tool that I can give to you if you ask for it, called the Cash Flow Optimizer, and I can send you a spreadsheet that we use with our clients and personally to be able to categorize all your transactions, and that will help you to understand what's happening in mint.com better. And it also could be a tool that you just use on your own without using the internet technology. So it's just more of a hands-on tool. Hope that's helpful for you today. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Hi, this is Rachel. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Money Secrets. If you did, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. I would like to invite you to get your free cash flow generator to help you start keeping more of your money. Come on over to marshallsinsurance.com/cashflowgenerator to sign up.